Hey guys, welcome back to another Dimension X digital toy review. I've got the new NECA Freddy vs. Jason Voorhees figure, and I cannot wait to look at it. I've been waiting for this version and the Part 5 Roy version forever. And those are two of my favorite versions of Jason, aesthetically speaking. And I've been really looking forward to this one. I've been hounding shops that I go to when they're going to get theirs, and finally came up on one today. So I want to take a look at it and see if it's as good as I hoped it would be. So let's take a look at the packaging first, and then we'll dive in and get the figure out. So on the front, you have kind of the Jason half of the Freddy vs. Jason poster. I can only assume we're going to get a new Freddy as well. I can't remember if they've shown photos or confirmed it or not. I want to say there's a 2-pack. I know there was a 2-pack years ago. But hopefully we're getting a standalone Freddy as well. Although I've noticed NECA kind of slowing down on the Freddy merchandise, and I've heard rumblings of them losing the rights to make them, but you know, maybe they're just talking about maybe the Paramount versions. I'm sorry, not the Paramount versions. I'm thinking of Friday the 13th. So I don't know. Maybe there's something going on with that or not. I don't know. However, Freddy looks pretty similar in that film. So if you need a Freddy to go with this Jason, it shouldn't be too hard to find a match. But the cover art is really dark. It's really sharp. Let's see what we got on the side. Looks like we got some original artwork here. And same thing on this side, same thing on the top. It does have the new paper hook on the box, and on the back we have some really nice production art, including that's a frame from the film. Oh, and there's Freddy right there. So they've got to be making a Freddy. If they can use his image on the box, I don't think we have to worry about not getting a Freddy. So anyways, let's see. We have him. Let's see. What does he come with? 3 masks, 2 machetes, fire effect, and teddy bear. Teddy bear, God, what? That was like a tiny prop in the film. It's kind of funny that they include that. What is interesting is that it has the unmasked head. Now, oh yes, no, you know, the closest we got to seeing him unmasked in the film was when they were giving him mouth to mouth when he's drowning in his dream, when he first fights Freddy in the dream world. So this is pretty much our first real look at an unmasked version of this Jason. So that's kind of cool. Looks like the fire effect, I don't know if it's attached to the blade or not, but let's take a look. But these are really cool masks that it comes with, and we'll take a look inside, take a look at the figures. See, it's got the window box, it's got the figure on the side here, and then we have this guy. So real nice display on this. Everything's nice and visible. You clearly see what you're getting. Let's open them up. Let's quit wasting time. So yeah, I've always liked this version of Jason, and you know, when the film came out in, was it 2003, I believe, there was a bit of a controversy because of course Jason was not played by Kane Hodder, who had played Jason from, God, what, part 6? Yeah, part 6, I believe, was when Kane Hodder came into the films and played him all the way through the 10th. And you know, he's kind of a fan favorite, although honestly for me, I think a lot of the praise of fans towards Kane Hodder was more, everyone said, oh, he's so physical, and like, I kind of disagree with that. I think that he made Jason breathe very heavy. In my opinion, I'm not like a diehard like Kane Hodder like is like. Hold on, let me see if I can clip these. These are really, really tight in there. Kane Hodder, I mean, yeah, of course he's a good Jason. Now, was he irreplaceable in my eyes? No. I honestly can't remember this actor's name. I didn't look it up before I started shooting this. I think he did a very fine job, and he's a lot taller and leaner than Kane was, and so I had no issues with the look of the new actor when they made this film. So yeah, I'm very excited to get this. God, I saw Freddy vs. Jason so many times in theater. I was stoked for that film because, I mean, you know, me and my friends were all big Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street fans growing up, and I mean, fans have been waiting for a Freddy versus Jason crossover. I mean, pretty much since both series started. But the real hype began, of course, in Jason Goes to Hell, when he at the end of the film, spoiler from a film from 1993, when Jason's mask gets pulled down into the ground by a Freddy glove, because that was the first Friday film made by New Line. And of course, New Line made Nightmare on Elm Street, and they teased it, and it only took them 10 years to make good on that promise. So let's take a look at the Jason figure straight up as by himself. He is tall. This is a tall figure. Plus, he's wearing like platform boots, which I'm not sure if they really focused on those in the film. Like if it was like, hey, check out how big his boots are, but they definitely got it apparently costume accurate. From the look at, he kind of looks like he's a bit his shoulders are a bit lopsided, and he's kind of like hunched, which is kind of cool, I guess. I mean, he stands straight up, but it definitely looks like he's got a bit of a deliberate posture to him. Let's take a look at his clothes here. Really messed up, really weathered jacket. Looks like it's split on the seam here. And in the movie, he kind of has like he's really kind of mummified. He really doesn't have I mean, he's been dead for a long time, so they did not really make him look fresh at all. He's very dark skinned in Freddy vs. Jason. Like I said, he's almost more of a mummy in that. And I always liked the look of him. I always thought he was very back to basics Jason. It wasn't like the part 7 where which looks cool, don't get me wrong. Like part 7, he's got like, you can see like his bones coming through his back and his spinal cord, and it looks really cool. But I really did like that they went back to a more basic kind of classic Jason for this film. So that's a straightforward one. He's got a very classic looking mask, sits nice and tight on his face. You can see his eyes through it. If you get it close, let's see if I got the right, the lighting here. Let me try to get a little more light down here, and we can, not really. Oh well, we'll just look at that closer when we take the mask off. So let's set him back here, and let's see what else we got in this package. Here is the teddy bear here. Here's the fire effect, the 2 different machetes. So it looks like you got a bloody machete and a not bloody machete. Kind of nice, I guess. You have this really cool bloody mask, and we have the scratched mask that Freddy scratches on him in the movie. And these 2 masks I definitely are going on him. One or the other, I'll probably just switch them up as I feel like it. But this is definitely a really nice set of masks that these come with. So let's. What the? Hold on. Let me slice this. So let's get all this stuff out. Tell you what, I'm going to take this all out, and then I'll be back. All right, and we're back. Got everything out of the package. You don't have to sit there and be bored while I take everything out. So close-up look at him. Here is your bloody machete. Got a nice, got some nice detailing on here. Got some nice little scratches. Even got some two-tone painting in there. The bloodline is pretty symmetrical. It's not really splattery looking, but it is a nice touch. It is kind of nice to give you 2, because it would look kind of stupid, I guess, with the fire effect on the bloody one. Here is the normal one, which you can kind of see more of those little kind of fine details sticking out a little bit more. So that's pretty cool. I do like that they kind of took the time and really highlighted kind of the etching in there. Let's see, here is the flame effect, which is a nice kind of translucent plastic. It's got 2 tones, kind of yellow base down here, and more of an orange. It's kind of, let me turn off this light, see if it kind of makes it a little more apparent. There you go. You can kind of see it better there. There we go. Yeah, so you can see it's actually a really nice fire effect, and that should clip right on to the machete. Let's see. I'm assuming it would be going from the back. Let's see. Kind of like that. Let me see. Let me take a look at the packaging. I think that's how it would go. Where is the box? Oh, it's way over here. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like, I think that's the way it's supposed to go. So you could have him swinging around the flaming machete. Probably fits both ways if you could really decide which way, but I believe it's supposed to be, yeah, it's supposed to go on the back. So you got that right there. That's a cool little touch. Cool little reference to the cornfield rave where Jason shows up and just starts wailing on those guys. And a lot of Freddy fans are kind of pissed off about that. They said, "Oh, Jason gets the biggest body count, blah 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 blah," and it's like, I guess, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's rarely even really a large body count in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Maybe in part 2 when he kind of does the same thing. Freddy shows up at the pool party and just starts killing random kids, even though it's not really what he was supposed to. His character did, but that was kind of his biggest body count. Mostly is what, maybe 3, probably not 3, more like maybe 5-6 people a movie. So yeah, but I get it, and I always have been a big Freddy fan myself. So it's always nice to see your favorite character get their dues. And here's his teddy bear. Fits nice and snug in his hand. That's nice. You don't have to mess with it. The teddy bear is actually kind of a rubber. It's not like hard plastic or anything, so you can just kind of let him kind of squeeze right in there. It even has a little indentation, it looks like, for his thumb. So you could really play off the child aspect of your Jason if you really wanted to. I doubt most people will. So let's take a look at those extra masks, as these are really the best part about this figure for me. And so let's see. This is the scratched up, the clawed version. And that is really, really nice. I really like the coloring on it. I like those nice sharp lines. Look at that. That is awesome. That's awesome. Especially if you're going to have him facing off against Freddy, I would definitely throw this mask on him and, really play up the aspect that they've been, trading blows with each other. And then the next mask, you have this bloody version, which I want to say is really more of a direct reference to when it's like near the end of the movie when Freddy shoves his claws into Jason's eyes and blood just starts spraying everywhere. So I would say this is more like that scene. Let's throw them on and see how they look, and let's take a look at the head sculpt here. So as usual, it just pops right off, and here is your unmasked Freddy versus Jason Voorhees head. Like I said, we've never seen this. The closest we saw to this in the movie was they're doing mouth to mouth, and they kind of pull his mask up to about here. And I can't remember. What's that actress's name? Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland was the one that did it. We'll call her an actress. She's a singer. I don't know if she ever made another movie again. She definitely was not the strongest actress in the movie. But really, who was in that? You don't really watch these movies for the acting. Sometimes you get a pleasant surprise. But yeah, they give her mouth, or they're about to give him mouth to mouth, and then he shoots up and the mask flies right back onto his face. So we never get a clear look, but now we do. And it's pretty standard. He's one thing to notice. It's not like the part like Jason Takes Manhattan, where he's basically like a skull underneath and looks like a ridiculous puppet. I remember being very, very I guess you could just say disappointed when that happened. That scene is, he looks pretty bad. So let's throw this on. Actually, before we throw that on, let's take a look. He actually has a little bit of hair on the back of his head. I don't remember this in the movie. I want to say he just was bald, but maybe, like I said, his skin is so dark in that movie that maybe there was a little bit of hair and I just never noticed it. Yeah, so really nice though. He reminds me of Toxie. He kind of looks like the Toxic Avenger here. With that kind of like the back of his head, and no, it wasn't NECA. There is a really nice Toxic Avenger figure that I used to have. Of course, I traded it away, forever ago, and now it's worth a small fortune. And it is really a beautiful figure, though, if you're in the market for a good Toxie. So there's him with his bloody mask, and that looks awesome. Look how cool that looks. That's one thing they always get right on these figures, is the way these masks sit on his head are great. They always just look they always sit so well, and they're always perfect proportional, like proportionally, they're perfect. So there you go. That is a really, really nice touch. That bloody mask, I really like that. Really, really great. It has a really nice kind of like, it's not like super thick red either. Like it's kind of watery looking almost. Like if you take a look at it, like it has a really nice kind of like almost still freshly wet look to it, like, and it's dripping down. It has very nice natural drip pattern. That was one thing that I really liked about the promo shots that I saw about this mask, that I really thought it did a nice job of looking really wet. And so, if you want a really nice imposing Jason figure and you just want him to look like he just massacred a bunch of teenagers, this is the mask to do. So yeah, let's knock this guy off and let's take a look at the scratched mask version. So like I said, if I was going to set this up with a Freddy figure and have them facing off with each other, I would probably keep this one on him, because it really does do a nice job of playing up the aspect of these two facing off. And there it is. That looks great. That is a great mask. The line work on it is fantastic. Let's get him close and get him in focus so we can really look at that. I mean, let me see. Are these painted on completely, or are these actually... I think they're actually kind of cut into the mask, actually. They are. Wow, those are actual scratches on it. It's not just a paint job. So no wonder they look so good. And it's great because they actually, they put it on and... or they sculpt it in, and then they also went over it with a bit of a wash. So they really stand out, and they're not just like... there, they're not just hiding. And God, he looks awesome. This is a great Jason. I'm really glad I waited for this one. And we looked at that 2009 Jason, the remake Jason, early on. That was like maybe my third or fourth video or something like that. And I really did like that Jason figure. The only kind of issue I really had with it was the sculpt on the little strands of hair. I thought they were a bit... I mean, they looked better in person than they did in the promo art. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But this one is so much more leaner. He's much leaner looking. I'm telling you guys, he is tall. And I wish I had a tape measure handy. I don't think I do. But this is a tall figure. This is one of the tallest Jasons we've seen, especially with these platforms. Even without the platforms, I think he'd still be a good half-inch taller than most of the Jason figures that we've gotten so far. But man, what a great job. I mean, the sculpt and everything, I really like the layered look of the clothes. He has two layers over him. Plus his jacket, jacket plus his shirt, and then that's laid over another t-shirt there. The paint job is really spot on, really nice weather wash, a lot of dimension to the figure. Looks really, really great. Here, let's throw this in his hand so we can see what it looks like with him holding it. Oops, got that backwards. There we go. So you can kind of have him swinging his flaming machete. I really wish they'd start doing some victim figure packs for these guys. It would be really, really nice to do that. Kind of so they're not always just standing there. But man, he looks great. This is a great figure. Really, really happy with this guy. Really glad I waited for this one. Can't wait to get that Roy, though. Roy, I love. I'm a San Jose Sharks fan, so I gotta have those teal diamonds on his hockey mask. Plus, I just like Part 5. I always have. You can argue, oh, it's not really Jason, it's the imposter. Yeah, of course it is, but it's still a cool movie. I've always had a soft spot for Part 5. 3, 4, 5. And even 6. I think 6 was actually the first one I ever watched. I think I was about 11 or so, and I saw that one, and I really liked it. I mean, it's funny because it's kind of one of the more goofball entries in the series, but, it did introduce me to, I mean, of course, I grew up when, Freddy and Jason they're in the zeitgeist, like, they're in the public eye all the time. Like, everyone knew about them, but they weren't ones that I had tracked down prior. Other than seeing maybe bits and pieces here and there. I mean, the the posters and the box art for the VHS are burned into my brain. I almost did buy that part 5 that NECA did with the VHS cover with the hockey mask that is not his hockey mask with the red eyes. I almost got that one just because that VHS box, I saw it every time I went to the video store, and I practically lived in that video store in during my childhood and growing up. So that was very nostalgic for me. But I was hanging on for this one and the normal Roy, the imposter Jason. So, but yeah, this one is now out, and it's fantastic. It is posed a little weird. Like I said, he's kind of got this kind of lurch to him, but it kind of makes him look a little dynamic. He really does look very imposing and very much alive. Like he definitely has a really, really nice look to him, really nice weathered and beat up, and it'd be great to actually get an official Freddy versus Jason Freddy figure to go with him, because the makeup for Freddy in that movie is fantastic. It's really one of the better Freddy makeups, especially after New Nightmare. I know New Nightmare has its fans, and I really do like his look in that movie for the most part, but the classic look that they give him in Freddy versus Jason is awesome. It's easily up there with one of his best looks, at least. So so this guy, the Freddy vs. Jason figure, should be hitting shelves soon. I found this one at GameStop, by the way, so if you are looking for one, I would say that's your best chance. You probably start seeing them in specialty stores, probably, if they're not already in there, by Monday or Tuesday, and probably in the Targets by like Tuesday through Friday. Hopefully he starts showing up. But he's definitely this is now definitely the Jason in my collection for sure. That is just a classic, perfect look right there, especially with that bloody mask. That's so awesome. So anyways, I guess that's going to do it for today. Check out the site. I did do episode 2 of Free It Friday. That is also, I put that up yesterday. Today is Saturday, so yeah, that went up yesterday. Really cool vintage Terminator figure opened up on that one, and then I already have a figure, I think, for the next one, unless I find something else. So this guy, check him out. He should be hitting stores this week. I do want to do a Rodan review, but I have not found one other than a specialty shop, and he's charging like $10 over retail, and like I said, I'm just kind of I think I can wait. So anyways, guys, until next time, happy hunting and take care.